All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. The Art of Notarization. We got a good one for you tonight. So, like, share, comment, let the world know about this video. I want to hear what you got to say. Okay, I really want to hear your comments on this subject. What you think? Okay, don't be scared to say how you feel, whether you agree or disagree, or you just in between. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to share your thoughts, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. This helps the notary community out. This helps us to understand and learn from one another. Okay. So tonight's subject is about what to say at the closing table. What can we say? Should we say anything? And I'm bringing it up because of some statements that I've heard over the last couple of years. Not a whole lot, but I've heard it a few times. And I said, you know what? It's probably time for me to say something. And what made it even more prevalent that I should say something is what I'm going to show y'all tonight in the set of instructions that I got for some documents that I'm getting ready to prep. Because I was in the process of just finished printing, getting ready to prep. And then I was going through reading the instructions and I saw these set of instructions. And I'm like, well, these instructions go directly opposite of what people are saying. Oh, I got to talk about this. So here we go. And this is not directed to any one person, but it's in reference to what a lot of people have said to me over the last couple of years, a lot of statements that people have made. So you might think that, oh, well, I just said that statement to Griff, so he's pointing it at me. Not actually pointing it at you. It's you're saying the same thing that some other people said. And typically, when I hear things at least three times from three different people that I clearly know aren't connected with each other, then I'm like, okay, maybe this is something I need to talk about. And not that I won't talk about it if you are connected with them, but it's like, okay, I'm hearing this over and over again, and the people got different got this same outlook on things, but I don't think that's the right outlook. I could be wrong. So as I always like to do, bring it to y'all. You tell me whether I'm right or wrong. You tell me whether it's right or wrong. That's what this is all about. Okay. So, what are we supposed to say at the table? Can we say anything at the table? What can notaries discuss at the table? That's what this is all about. So, I've heard many, many different things that notaries should say this, they can't say that. I've even heard people say, well, whether title companies or signing companies talk about how they quiz notaries about what would you say and what would you do in this situation. I've been quizzed about what would I say and what would I do in certain situations. And I really don't like that because per my state law, there's really not a whole lot that I'm supposed to be saying. I'm supposed to be there to verify ID, make sure you sign, date, and initial where applicable. I notarize your signature via the notarial certificate that is there, and that's it. That's what I'm supposed to do. Or as trying to break stuff down or help you understand or explain things, I'm not supposed to do that. So I've always said that. That's what I believe. That's what I've seen over and over again. I've discussed that with the NNA. I've, you know, tried to discuss it with my state, but they won't say anything. They just like leave us alone. Whatever the handbook says, that's what you do. So as I was going through the loan documents on the screen here the PDF, I saw something that really stuck out. And I said, I got to talk about this. So let me share my screen with y'all real quick, like. And as you see on the screen, the instructions. Oops. Let me. I wanna. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. So it says, attention notary, you are not authorized to discuss the terms of this loan or any calculations appearing on the settlement statement. Please have the borrower contact their loan officer to answer any questions or address any concerns. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Just think about that. If you have to, pause the video and read it again. Attention notaries, you are not authorized to discuss the terms of this loan or any calculations appearing on the settlement statement. Please have the borrower, I'm not the borrower, they are, contact their loan officer to answer any questions, and I'm not the loan officer, or address any concerns. Now, the question is this: how difficult is it for us to understand that? So it's telling us clearly and straightforward, keep your mouth shut. You're not authorized. Well, what makes me not authorized? The fact that I'm not a loan officer, the fact that I don't know the terms and conditions, the fact that I do not understand fully what the heck has been going on with this loan for me to sit here and try to articulate anything concerning the terms of the loan or the calculations appearing on the settlement statement. Now, I've heard this before, and I even recently heard it in a clubhouse. So, my man, this is not directed at you as any kind of way. This is me dealing with the statement that you said about what you would do, and I've heard other signing company owners and more so title people who said this. Okay, I've heard them say this over the last couple of years, and it hasn't been a whole lot, but I've heard them say this, that when notaries push back about the money or argue with them over things, they start quizzing the notary. So how would you explain the interest rate, how they calculate the interest rate? How would you explain this? And it gets into the terms of the loan and some of the details of the loans that, as this is saying, we're not authorized to do. And I don't think that's a fair thing to do and say, well, notary, you need to explain to me dot, dot, dot. And that dot, dot, dot is not what we're supposed to be doing. I shouldn't have to explain or try to calculate anything concerning this loan. That should have already been taken care of prior to me getting here. The question now becomes so now the question now becomes, who's right? Because the training folks say you need to be able to say these. The title company says you need to be able to figure this out. Signing company says you need to be able to figure this out. My thing is this, and this is coming from a title company, one of the big companies out there, and it doesn't matter who. So that's, I took their name out of there, but the question still remains: then who's right? Do I do what somebody my trainer said, the signing company said, or do I do what these instructions are saying, which is not to discuss the terms of the loan? That if they got questions or concerns about them, contact the loan officer. So that's the age old question. What should I be discussing at the closing table? Should I be discussing anything at all? And if I am, then what? And then what should I be discussing? And what authorizes me to do that? I'm not trying to start nothing, but it's a valid question because right now, for those of you who've been trained to say stuff about the documents, what are you going to do when you come across this statement here? When you come across this statement, are you going to abide by it, or are you going to ignore it and do your own thing, which is going to be opposite of what this statement is saying? That's the question. And if you don't know the answer to that by now, then you need to figure something out, because this could get you in a lot of trouble if you end up saying something that you are not authorized to say. So this isn't to say maybe another company will want you to say something. Okay, cool. But This is where the confusion comes in with the notary business. It's like one group is saying, don't say anything. Another group is saying, you should. Then another group is saying, well, you can say something, but you got to be careful how you say it. It's all of these different things. And the question that everybody really has, and I mean that everybody, is simply, what am I really supposed to be doing as a notary? What am I supposed to be saying or not saying? That's what I need to get a handle on. That's what I need to understand for me, so that I'm not doing unauthorized practice of law, so that I'm not stepping on the toes of the loan officer or even the title company. Because you could take that same thing and say, if please have the borrower contact the title company, or it could say the loan officer or the title company if they have any questions, or to address any kind of concerns. So that's who's supposed to be doing this in the first place. And if they're not doing it and they want us to do it, then what authorizes me to do it, and where did I get the knowledge base to be able to do this? Now, remember, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about what? The loan signing agent, and what the loan signing agent is all about. And it says from Superior Notary Services, and I'll put the video right here. It says what? That a loan signing agent is supposed to be able to walk the customer or help them through the loan process by us, because we understand it. If you don't understand the loan closing process, then how can you help somebody answer their questions about terms and calculations if you don't understand? So you got to have a clear understanding. So take a look at that video, and toward the end part of it, probably the last 20 minutes of it, it talks about that. From Superior Notary Services, they break it down as to what a loan signing agent is and what their responsibilities are. So I am encouraging you as notaries, you need to figure some stuff out concerning what you're going to say and not say, because a lot of people are getting hung up on that. A lot of people are hung up on what to say and what not to say concerning the documents. And I'm telling you, it's a big deal. It is a huge, huge deal. So I'm gonna let y'all decide. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna follow that. Because at the end of the day, as long as I do my notarizations correctly, get the signatures, get the initials, get the dates, we good. That's what it's all about. If I miss something, I go back and get it corrected, because I can miss things, but I have to be careful about what I say, because the words that come out my mouth could determine that this deal doesn't get done. And I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. And how do I do that? By pretty much keeping my mouth shut and following the instructions that are given to me. So give me your thoughts, your comments. Tell me what y'all think about this. I really want to hear it. And again, I know there's people that want this done. I know there's people who are going to do it. Just be willing to deal with the consequences of your actions or inaction. But either way, you got to deal with it just like I got to. So I just wanted to hop on, share that with y'all real quick. I'm getting ready to go on and knock out the rest of these loan these prepping these documents and stuff. Shoot, man, it's 1:30 in the morning. Man, I didn't realize it was that late. Mm. All right, let me get out of here. Talk to y'all later. Peace.